Why, thank you. And Kat, how are you doing, my girl? You still loving that bracelet? I hope so. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, y'all, to the replay crew. I know some of y'all let me know ahead of time that you weren't going to make it. And you weren't going to make it to the live stream. And so when you're back here on the replay crew, I really appreciate you. So, how did everybody's week go? I have been up to my elbows in things to get rid of and going through boxes, and you may, hey Chica, how are you? You may hear some noises in the background during book club tonight. The available time for the manual labor that we have of moving boxes out into my car to get to the Goodwill, the manual labor for that, this was the time they were available. So Mom is out there directing traffic. Oh, you guys, I need some lip gloss. My lips are just so dry. Let me get some lip gloss for a minute. Kat, did you oh, Kat, Chica. Hey, Red. Chica, I am really, really sorry. I am glad it's a milder version, but Jiminy Christmas, I'm sorry. How long have you been dealing with it? Guys, that's too much light for me today. I think that's looking a little bit better. I like that natural light a little bit better. Started yesterday. Oh my goodness. Did you get a chance to read the book? I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad it's a milder version so far. I'm glad it's a milder version so far. So I've been up to my elbows. I'm really excited to be getting rid of stuff. There are more empty spaces in the house now, and so that is nice. I'm making some hard decisions about what things need to go, getting through them. It is hard, but you guys is okay. Excellent, Chica. That's excellent. We'll give it a few minutes and let people show up. He'll come in when he's ready. Yeah. Cricket! You're not late. We are just chit-chatting for a minute. Mom came in. Apparently, my son has arrived, but he's sitting in the car. Thank you, Chica. Thank you, Kat. I was sitting here. I hurt myself while I was moving things around this afternoon. I bent over and I tried to lift something, and it pulled something wrong in my back, and I am Really regretting it. Leslie, if you didn't hear me say hello earlier, welcome in. Welcome from the valley. It's so nice to have you here, like a touch of home. My Minnesota home and my valley home and my Portland home, it all comes together, y'all. It's just this mixture. So anyhow, I bent over and picked something up and my back just went my lower left upper arse quadrant is unhappy. So I came and sat down and I was sitting here with my mom and I went, maybe I should go get all prettied up because I was looking pretty foul, y'all. Um, I was like gray t-shirt, sweaty face, hair in a mess. It was pretty sorry looking. It's okay, Red. I think with a little bit of OT 420 and a little bit of maybe some massage, maybe some heat. We'll see. I'll sleep on it and see what it does. I'll sleep on it and see what it does. So what do you guys think? What did you think of these two chapters? Oh, you're welcome, Leslie. Of course I say hi to you and all my Valley friends. Valley was an amazing place to live, and I am really sorry, really, in some ways, really sorry we had to leave. It was a difficult place to leave. That is for sure. That is for sure. I look at these two chapters, and it's harsh slave labor for those children. Exactly, Chica. Exactly. I she was so excited to be closer to her parents, and then they even made that more miserable. I mean, this poor child, I don't even understand every single sliver of hope that she grabs a hold of. They take away somehow. It's just insanity. Big Chief, hi, how are you doing, man? It's always good to see you roll in. Thank you for stopping by. It is shocking that there were 80 kids at her location. The amount of adult level irresponsibility is unbelievable. Yes, 80 children. And you notice she said after one of the outside service people made a complaint or said something, they were never ever allowed to work around service people again. I mean, guys, I hate to be This is why you never ever like, if you see something like that, you can't say anything to the people, you have to go report it to the police. It's like, don't tell people that you're gonna report them to CPS. If they're actually abusing their kids bad enough that you need to report them to CPS, what do you think they're gonna do if you say you're gonna report them to CPS? Oh, thank you, Dusty. I had to graduate from chopped liver, sweetheart. I had to graduate from chopped liver. I decided to get all dolled up for all y'all. I'm really sorry I missed you last night, Dusty. That would have been fun. Thank you for asking me to join in, and please ask me again next time. I was just so tired from all the work we were doing. What do you want to start, Big Chief? What do you want to start? This whole book, this whole chapter, I mean, she ends the chapter with very few parents came to see their kids at this time, but I wasn't prone to wondering where the other kids' parents were. Seeing Dad was such a rare thing, every moment that we were together felt precious. Bernie, hi. No, I have not read Mike Rinder's book. Maybe we should put that on the list. Thank you for asking. Welcome in. Have you read the chapters on, have you read Jenna Miscaviage's book through to the chapters? Or are you just joining us for the discussion? Right, Chica? That's what I mean. It was like she gets this freedom before the renovations. Again, things get better and then they take it all away and make it into this uh, Stalinistic Disneyland. It's just, I don't even, it's weird. It's weird. She wished they were back before the renovations. And you guys, all of this was before she was 10. No Great Gatsby, algebra, biology. Well, Reese talks about that, Cricket, and about how stupid she felt she was and how stupid Jeff made her feel all the time because she didn't go to high school and missed those things. Um, I thought it was interesting also how Jenna even talked about like it was cool not to go to high school. That was the cool thing, not to go to high school. Her parents had talked about it. Oh, goodness gracious. Chapped hands. She's not 10 yet in this book, y'all, and she's talking about her hands being chapped from working with tools too much. And what about her being the medical liaison officer? Tell me I haven't read too far ahead. Right, Cat? At right? Insanity. She's treating them all, she's giving them nutritional supplements, she's doing all of that. She's treating their burns, she's telling them what the athlete's foot powder is for, and she was 7, and all the children had an ethics folder, right, and it wasn't the adults who turned the children in for the ethics. The way they talk, Chica, I'm surprised she wasn't doing open heart surgery too. They're like, "Just do it. You can just do it. Just magically do it." She's probably giving them some of the only compassion they might ever get. Yeah, but no painkillers, because oh my god, that would just be the worst thing. Those painkillers, they are terrible. Avoid those. Unbelievable. Medical liaison officer. And that sounded like a cush job. I mean, that sounded like a job that she was relatively competent. Yes, you can see where motherly character comes from. Exactly. And getting up 15 minutes early so they never got sent to pig birthing. What a thing to call it. Pig birthing. What a thing to call it. Yep. And then all of a sudden everything changed again. Paolo! Paolo, how are you? It's so good to see you as always. The sick room and mattress on the floor. Right, right. Well, all of the 80 children. But then their pickups. Do I have a pig birthing thing? I don't know. Pig birthing, yeah, solitary confinement. It made me think of birthing putting pigs in pens. It's like saying you're living in the pig pen. That's what I took out of pig birthing, it's a pig pen. That's why you're living. Just disgusting. Yeah, we go from chapter 4 to chapter 5 with all this added regimentation, and less time with her parents. Again, less time with her parents. I was surprised she was allowed to keep her kitty. Remember we were talking last week about how I was worried about the kitty? I was surprised she was allowed to bring her kitty. Indeed. I wonder I wonder how that'll continue. Um, I just can't believe they worked all those children like that. They just I really hope that's not happening anymore. I really hope that's not happening anymore. But yeah, if you see shit like that happening, the last thing you wanna do is tell people that you see shit like that happening until you call the cops. 'Cause telling the people that are doing it is just gonna drive it further underground. It's they moved them away. The guy noticed, the people noticed that these kids were too young to be carrying 2 kids carrying a railroad tie. Oh, cricket! That's so nice. Are you saying you are Portuguese? Português? Chinese school. I know that we've learned about Chinese school, but, that was one of the prevailing in the 50s, that was one of the prevailing theories about education was perfect recitation meant that you knew it. So, that's what you're saying, half Portuguese. Cool, cricket. Having her own responsibilities, being in Chinese school and dealing with the dreaded WOGS. They like to ask a lot of questions. We were led to believe that they would find our lifestyle alarming, so we had to be careful that, when speaking to them, we spoke in terms they could understand. That part made me think of how you were required to learn to recite the Catholic prayers, but never really told what they meant. Yeah, cricket. You remember memorizing a poem once a month and having to stand in front of Miss Mitchell's desk to recite it? Yeah, I guess I don't have a problem having to recite a poem. I mean, I think that's important to memorize some poems. But, I mean, maybe that's just the old-fashioned in me. I think at least you have something when you've memorized the poems. I don't know. If people wanna memorize the Quran or the Bible, I don't have a problem with that. But I think this whole Chinese school is I mean, there was educational theory that talked about rote memorization like that, and perfect recitation was the way. Um, but educational theory has come a long way from that educational theory. A long way from that educational theory. We talked about this, we touched on this, but didn't you guys find it interesting that it wasn't the adults turning the other kids in? It was I missed this, Dusty. Feral Cheryl had a John Travolta sighting at Flag on Friday. She is the best. She is the best, and I saw that her video said that she had a John Travolta sighting. That is so cool. That is really cool, Dusty. Cricket, it did sound sort of like that. Hypnosis, they were in, it would induce hypnosis, um, that sort of repetition. How are you doing, Robert? So did anybody else find it interesting that the ethics files were made up of reports that the kids made on each other? Cheryl ran to catch him. It's so cool that she saw him. Did she get a good view? Robert, I watched your new movie. It's excellent as always. Excellent as always. Thank you for sending it over to me. Sorry guys, you know how dry my mouth gets, so I had to get a mouth lozenge. Hold on just a moment, guys. You have to get the snitch culture starting early. You gonna go check on that? I love Betty Boop too. My grandmother adored Betty Boop. Adored Betty Boop. Thought that Betty Boop was the bomb. We have all kinds of Betty Boop memorabilia. Grueling drills, exhaustive inspections, arduous physical labor, and being told to snitch on each other. And she wasn't 10 yet. And she wasn't 10 yet. I just questioning behavior, questioning attitudes, and nonconforming behavior was kept in check through threats, punishments, and humiliations in front of the group. Every child had an ethics folder which was kept locked in the cottage to prevent any file travolta. He waved at Feral Cheryl. I have heard he is the nicest man. I hope he doesn't have to go for a sec check over that. He is a good and loyal person. And it is unfortunate to watch the cult uh, to watch the cult really pull pull in people who are such good and honest people. Yes, and being humiliated. Exactly, Kat. Kid's worst nightmare, being humiliated over and over and over again. I mean, she talks about how self-policing inside the group made it difficult for anyone to trust anyone else. On the occasion that a chit was written on me, and anxiety always built in my chest. The chit was usually for something unfair or an exaggeration of the truth because someone was angry at me. But no matter how misguided the reason behind the chit might have been, Getting one was always enough to make me think twice about doing or saying something that was in any way contrary. Just unbelievable. I I just all present and accounted for, left face, right face, armpits, breath, smell tested, checked for lice. Thank you, Dusty. I didn't see it there. Apparently, Cheryl was on Natalie's this was that this morning? Dusty, was that this morning that Farrell was on Natalie's? Thank you, Chica. Thank you. Yesterday. Okay. You were late, you'd get a bucket of ice dumped over your head. I mean, just how humiliating. How completely awful. It just yeah, Dusty, I have been busy trying to weed through too much stuff in my smaller house. And I haven't seen much of anything for the last 2 days. And yesterday when you called, I was almost asleep, or not called, but texted. I was almost asleep in bed. I was like, "I don't know if I can do this." Chica, thank you. This one, I like this one. I keep thinking about giving it away and it comes back and I like to keep it. Absolute torture for those innocent babies, and we are a modern society. Exactly. I mean, it's not like this was in 1920. Is everything okay? Hold on. This isn't like 1920. This is like 1985 or 90. How old is Jenna? In her 40s? So she was born in the 80s. So this was the early 90s. Yeah, this was the early 90s and they were doing this to these children. I can't even believe they were getting away with it. I know, Cat. The bats would fly through and make shrieking noises, right? You do that to 7 and 8-year-olds? It's pretty horrific. Pretty horrific. The whole process was designed to teach us policy by heart. No, it's not that long ago at all. No. It's not that long ago at all. Okay, Red, we'll be good. It's, the early '90s. That's when I got married and was having children. Like many cadets, I struggled to understand why others just couldn't follow the rules. They were asking for trouble and they were always hauled off and dealt with. Every time it happened, I'd watch them be reprimanded. When I first became a cadet as a 6-year-old, I was given the post of groundsman responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of an assigned area of the grounds. Can you guys? Right, Kat? When she was medical liaison, she had to make the CalMag concoction, but didn't know the difference between table and teaspoon, and she was 7. Right, and so she made it even worse than it needed to be. And I mean, what if that had been dangerous? That's tripling the amount that's tripling the amount that she's putting in there. That's a pretty significant dose increase. Okay, guys, I wanna remind you that, this is the time manual labor could come to move boxes into the car, and so there may be some noises going on. Maybe it was dangerous, they were little kids, exactly, Cat. Sorry, guys, I get distracted reading the comments. Orion, hush. Orion, hush. Maybe it was dangerous, it was tripling the dose, that's pretty significant. Wouldn't it be cool if she came on, Leslie? That would be really cool. No, don't call 911, exactly, Chica. Exactly. This is the time they could come to help with the boxes and mom and I can't carry all of them and put them in the car. So, we have to deal with a little bit of disruption. I hope it's not a problem. Leslie, I know somebody mentioned it would be really cool if she came on. Maybe I'll ask her. Maybe I'll send an email and see if maybe she'll come to the last meeting or something like that. That would be really cool. Oh, that's why I didn't see it. Got it, Dusty. I was like, I can't see this anywhere. Orion is very upset. His favorite person in the world has come into the house and he is kennelled. Maybe after we've completed the book. Yes, Chica, I think that would be the best time to do it after we've done the whole thing. That's why I was thinking at the final 2 chapters, but you think after we've completed the final 2 chapters and we can talk about the whole book, that might be nice. I could email her and see if she might be willing to do that. See if that's not too much to ask. Orion, you just want everybody to hear you. Jenna is very sweet. You like that idea, Kat? Okay, okay. I will email her and see if she might be willing to come on, and maybe if you guys uh put some questions in the comments after the stream, or yeah, prepare questions. Exactly, prepare questions. So, Orion wants you, Dusty. Is that what it is? You'd come over and help me move boxes, wouldn't you? It doesn't seem like being a Miscaviage gave her any special privileges at all, Cricket. Not in the least. I think she got the privilege of her parents visiting, but I think that's because her parents were good people, not necessarily because of uh not necessarily because because of what their name was, but because they were just good people. I think her last name made it tougher. I expect it did, Chica. Dusty, I am not moving. I am going through and getting rid of um I am getting rid of a bunch of stuff because we moved from a 3,000 square foot house into a 2,000 square foot house without doing much downsizing. Jenna was very much abused. Indeed, she was. And so I've been trying to squeeze 3,000 square feet of stuff into 2,000 square feet, and it doesn't quite work. So I have come to the conclusion that things need to go. Things need to go. You think her last name helped after she was out? I think it probably did help after she was out. It would be too embarrassing to call her out. Yes. I think her last name did help. I think that it helped her get the book deal. I think that it helped get her the attention that she needed to get. Yes, I think it is embarrassing, Kat, and that is why I think that I mean, I think her name helps now a lot because I think it is embarrassing to have family members talking about it. It's it's difficult. I knew there was some sort of vitamin balance, but I was never sure how to achieve it. So I just did the moderate thing and gave people one of each. She had a big book of assists for everything. There was a big book of them. There was a giant handbook that had everything from a toothache assist to a temperature assist. Just really, really a lot. Really a lot. What else stood out to you about these chapters, guys? I think that it draws a pretty stark picture of the church. I'm quite amazed that it continues to be able to have a following. It is impossible to imagine that all of these adults were so stupid. It is somewhat impossible to imagine that, isn't it, Chica? I think so. I think so indeed. I do think so. I don't. If it seemed as though someone was more seriously ill, I would tell an adult, and an adult would usually visit isolation to see how things were going. Looking back on this time, it's difficult even for me to understand how a 7-year-old could be entrusted to do a job like this. I hate to think what might have happened if a child had been extremely sick and I hadn't realized the seriousness of it enough to say something to adults. I I just Oh, I missed that part, Cricket. The e-meter reports being shared with the parents? Indeed, what a heavy load to carry. Just unbelievable. I know, he's terrible. My son might be his favorite person in the world, and it is my eldest that has shown up to help with the boxes. I think so many of the children felt, of course, like it was easy for everybody else. So what am I doing wrong? Reese has talked about that a lot, Kat, that she had feelings of it must be working for everybody else, and I think Natalie said that too. All of these women have said that they thought it was just them. They thought it was just them, and it's pretty amazing to me that everybody felt so incredibly alone. Just everyone felt it was so isolating. The total hours we were working to more than 35 hours a week. We were only kids and young teenagers. Sorry, Cricket. I just Oh, did you guys get this part? The older girls couldn't wear tank tops or sports bras because they were too suggestive, which was confusing because the boys were allowed to take their shirts off. We were always told to wear gloves. Yes, here we talked about this. But none were ever provided, at least to me. So I, like many kids, had a thick layer of brown chapped skin between my forefinger and my thumb from holding the rake. It was our chance to earn our way rather than getting things for free. This was important because, as Scientology taught us, our supervisors were actually helping to prevent us from becoming criminals. She didn't dare rebel because it would have been harder or worse. Separated from the group, not allowed to talk to friends. How every parent wasn't livid is mind-blowing. I just don't understand, Cat. I don't understand. However, I had a friend who raised her son in a similar cult, and she was a single mom when she joined the cult. She was a single mom when she joined the cult, and it was the early '70s, and they offered help and assistance, and she thought everything was fine. She had she said the attention to detail was stifling. Which Alice in Wonderland routine, Cricket? What do you mean? Alice in Wonderland routine. Guys, I'm looking at my Kindle over here to see what my notes say. Yeah, the other workers complained. Once in a while, the contractors were there. Once, while the contractors were there, they actually complained when they saw a couple of young kids hauling a railroad tie because they thought they were too young for that kind of labor. What they didn't know was that since railroad ties were a featured element all over the property for edging pathways or creating planters, we hauled railroad ties all the time, usually 2 kids per tie. After the complaint by the outsiders, we were not allowed to work anywhere near hired contractors. We won't even talk about the poison in railroad ties. Running. Running. What is it about the running? Everybody always had to run to their places. Yes, exactly. Ah, maybe you read ahead too far in one of the training routines in chapter 6. Yeah, I think that's one chapter. Yep, that's one chapter too far. That's okay, Cricket. That's okay. You're allowed to read ahead. They were required to wear gloves, but they weren't given any. Exactly, Cat. Exactly. They certainly weren't given any. That was not good. Not good. When I look back and consider why I didn't rebel, reality was that doing so would have just made life harder. Hey, Jen, how are you doing, sweetie? It's good to see you. I've missed you over the past few days. When I look back and consider why I didn't rebel, the reality was that doing so would have just made life harder. Orion, he is very upset. Good, I'm glad, Jen. Orion is very upset because he's crated. because the visiting dog is over. My son's dog that we asked you for help with is over visiting, and we haven't finished the introduction because they're a little worried that she might be too mouthy. So Orion is in his crate. When it couldn't possibly get worse, of course it does. Yeah. Orion is in his crate, Jen, and my son is here, and my son is probably his favorite person in the world. So he's being a little squeaky. So this last paragraph, I would have been separated from the group, not allowed to talk to my friends, forced to make up for my behavior, not allowed to have libs or attend special ceremonies and events. The only place to go from not following rules was back to following rules. Insubordination would only make it harder for me to graduate and leave the ranch. Yes, that's why he's whining. Red, I'm so glad you're back. Yes, that explains it. He's stuck in the crate and his Favy is outside. So we are a little whiny. We are a little whiny. And I don't know where Soda is, but Brain Fog said she wasn't gonna make it, unfortunately. The only place to go from not following rules was back to following rules. The only place to go from not following rules was back to following rules. It's just unbelievable. The conditions we worked under would have been tough for a grown man, and yet any complaints, backflashing, any kind of questioning was instantly met with disciplinary action. Very poignant statement, isn't it? It just the only place to go from not following rules was back to following rules. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So what else did you guys yeah, they don't care about poison, the free winds is full of asbestos. That's a good point, Dusty. But I'm just thinking about all the arsenic in those railroad ties that those kids were hauling around. Just without gloves. Without gloves. Probably without ugh. And then Jenna talks about how Justin teased her for not being able to keep up with him. And I'm like, for crying out loud, the size of the body. The size of the body is yes. Yes, Chica, the roofing tiles they buried that were full of asbestos. Mhm. Because yes, I know, Kat, she was 7. I have got a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. 7 years old. No phase. You haven't missed any, sweetie. You haven't missed any. I was just getting ready to start considering the first one. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Are you handing out those Minnesota goodbye drinks that you talked about? Am I remembering that correctly? You are never late. You are here just when you need to be. Interesting, y'all. My mom's here and she was watching me interact with you guys on well, she while I was live the other night, she was sitting in the other room in the same room over in a chair watching. It was interesting, her commentary on how I appear when I'm online rather than in real life. Made me think of many pictures online at the Library of Congress depicting child labor in the 20th century. Right, Cricket? I'm like, this wasn't 1920. I am so glad, no face. I am so glad, no face. Cricket, that's what I was thinking. I really was like, this wasn't 1920, this wasn't 1890, this was 1990. 1990. Just unfreaking believable, y'all. This was the early 90s, maybe the late 90s. What'd you decide on, Cricket? Did you give her some great ideas? I hope you guys came up with some great ideas for the for the cruise. It's really exciting that you're getting to put that menu together. Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. It has been a seemingly quiet weekend. I didn't like the work at all. My legs always hurt, my hands were extremely chapped, and I was usually either overheated or freezing cold because we worked no matter the temperature. We often wound up wearing shorts in the winter because the funds weren't there for the new uniforms, and as kids, we grew quickly. The rule was that everyone had to run while on deck, so if I was caught walking, I would hear Jenna run or Jenna get to work. Oh my goodness, Chica. At 10 years old, she was? I am so sorry. Xenu Free, how are you? Mama, who just had her birthday, right? I'm sure you did, Cricket. I'm sure you did. I got the information, Dusty, and I signed on. Indeed, I did. Indeed, I did. And if anybody needs the information about the Discord that Dusty is talking about, um, please shoot me an email. Please shoot me an email and I can forward you an invite, or I can arrange an invite. I don't like that banner. I hope so, Chica. I hope so. You were lucky enough to spend your weekend with Declared Dave and Suppressive Sherry and our wonderful mods. That's excellent, Xenu Free. I'm so happy for you. Yes, Puppy is very sad because Puppy is stuck in crate because oldest son is here and helping to move some boxes. This is the time that he could help move boxes. And Puppy's favorite person in the world is eldest son. And so Puppy is very unhappy at being relegated to the crate. But fortunately, he is a ginger too. Us gingers have to stick together indeed. So he's brought one of their dogs who is new to the group, and she and Orion have not been properly introduced and gotten along yet. And so Orion has to stay in his crate while they're here, which is okay because when we have sniff spots visiting, then Orion is in his crate then too. So he will live. The bigger issue is he can hear eldest son out there, and he really wants to play with eldest son. I seem to recall someplace in these chapters she talked about how the kids all reported on each other. You let him e-meter test you? That's so cool. Bucket list check. What did we find on the e-meter, Xenu Free? I really enjoyed meeting Declared Dave too. He's a lot of fun, really pleasant, really enjoyable guy, funny, incredibly knowledgeable, just really, really a nice guy. I liked him. I liked him a lot, a lot, a lot. It was a pleasure to get to meet him. Indeed, Xenu Free. What Chica asks, did you find your ruin? Did we find your ruin? You learned that someone laughing at you can make your needle fly right, and that you're not very good at lying. Funny. I didn't realize he had one that worked. That is really kind of cool. You're a flunk, huh? You flunked the test? Well, I think it's he has four. One works. I think I remember that Gail brought one of hers with when she went down to Los Angeles, but it didn't work, if I recall correctly. I think Serge was trying to do a needle read and they couldn't get it to work, if I recall correctly. But he has one that works. That's very cool. How's he gotten all this stuff? He seems to have loads and heaps of stuff. How's he managed to get it all? Does he just the Scientology drop off point for when people leave the cult, they all send their stuff to Dave? Your ruin is that you're a proud SP with squirrel tendencies. There you go, Xenu Free. There you go. There you go. So I think we're 4 chapters in, and what we've determined, 6 chapters in, including the prologue, what we've determined is that We cannot figure out what was going on with the adults in Scientology. That it was what what the adults were doing was a little weird. More than a little weird, we cannot quite come to terms with how children that young were being treated that way. A bed on the a mattress on the floor on the concrete was the sick room. Why do you think Machine is funnier, Dusty? You think Oh, Cricket, that's hilarious. I think you're probably right. They don't even work. Yeah, I like Dispenser too, Dusty. I think Dusty Soda Dispenser has alliteration. Dusty Soda Machine, Dusty Soda Dispenser. Which one do you like better, Mom? Dusty Soda Machine or Dusty Soda Dispenser? Why do you like Machine better? Mom says Machine's better, Dusty. That's Thank you, Red. Thank you so much. I like Dispenser better, but Mom says Machine. So there's your It's more masculine? There. That's the one that'll get you, Dusty. Dusty Soda Machine sounds more masculine. It sounds funnier. Yeah. Make sure and subscribe to Dusty. And guys, we are still edging closer to that 4,000 watch hours, but I still need about 50 subscribers and 80 kids. 80 kids, exactly. Um, well, some of them are Liz, and I mean, some of them are still in. Some of them are true believers and still in, I'm sure. And make sure and subscribe to Xenu Free. You are kind of like a machine, Dusty. That is true. The machine part fits better than Dispenser does. I will give you that. You are always going all the time. That is without a doubt true. So I can see how, and absolutely go subscribe to Pup. And if you really want to help Pup out, she's got um Dusty too, and Xenu Free. All of them, you can help out their watch hours. Give them a hand. Listen, watch their playlist, put them on overnight if you want to help out. All of them need to get to their watch hours. They certainly need subscribers, but they need the watch hours for sure. So we just need to keep plugging away at those watch hours and they will build up. Pup, you should be getting a few more. Have you been seeing a few more show up since you've been streaming every evening? It makes a difference. They start to add up. They start to add up. Dusty, I think you've proven your case. I think Soda Machine is better. I think you're right. Do you really, Cricket? You are so kind. You are so kind. You guys, I need to talk about something. There was a conversation on a creator's page last week, and Keela and Gretchen, that is excellent, Red. I am so excited about that. Cricket, that's so sweet of you. Really kind to do. So in this creators chat, we were talking about people asking for receipts about Louis Repetto. And I am quite frustrated rabbit holing anagrams for Scientology. Coyote Sling or Long Society. I like Long Society, Rabbit. Coyote Sling is almost too cool. Long Society I kind of like better. So anyhow, I am frustrated at certain people insisting that there need to be receipts for Louis Repetto when there was never any questioning of receipts when this person was making accusations against Ellie. And I don't mean to bring up old drama. I just need to say this bit because I said something in a chat and now it is coming back at me. And so, what I said in the chat is that DOA wants receipts now, but he didn't say anything about receipts when things were going down with Ellie, and that Ellie is being treated worse. Ellie was treated worse than Louis Repetto is being treated. And there's some people who are really upset about me having made that comment. More than one people. So I have heard about it. And I want to let you guys know that I am not defending Ellie. I am not suggesting that Ellie didn't do any wrong. I am not anything about Ellie. But what I am saying is that as a community, the community treatment of Ellie is worse than the community came out against Louis Repetto. And I think that that is gross. And if any of you are upset about that, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Thank you, Red. Um, I'm not arguing whether people had problems with Ellie. People clearly had problems with Ellie. That's not what I'm even trying to suggest. What I am, yeah, you guys got me. You guys got me. So people are really upset about that comment. Um, but I need to let you guys know. I need to let you guys know because it feels like what people are doing is rustling around in the bushes, vacuuming up any comments that get made in order to send them off to people and rustle up drama. And I'm not interested in, I mean, I'm just gonna shine the sunlight on it. If I need to, I'll pull up the screenshots and show them to y'all. I'll send you the link so we can watch exactly what I was saying in real time. It's not a defense of Ellie. In fact, I don't know how it could be a defense of Ellie. Robert, you're very kind. You're very kind. Thank you. Thank you all. I just don't like the way it was done. That's all I'm saying, and I think that that has been the problem with a lot of what has been going on in the community is that it's being done in a, dare I say it, in a witch hunt sort of way. The disgusting actions of L. Ron Hubbard is being overshadowed by a boys' pissing contest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had to explain to my mother why I was upset. And I was like, it is a whole long story. And her response is, it sounds like a lot like middle school, and it certainly feels a lot like middle school. We need to grow up and focus on the issues at hand. As Nora said on the other day, an accusation with a question does not make it a question. Right, Chica, right. An accusation with a question mark doesn't make it a question. Mm-hmm. It has been a little, a little much, a little much. And when, thanks, Cricket. Well, apparently it's me that's the bully and it's Ellie that's the bully. And whether Ellie is the bully or not, people certainly think she's the bully. And I'm, well, thank you, Indigo Twin. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say. Oh, Louis Repetto. Now that makes more sense. Yes. The disgusting actions of L. Ron Hubbard is being overshadowed by a boys' pissing contest. Indeed. I he's a disgusting sex offender. He's a disgusting sex offender. Sunrise Dawn! Cece! It's so good to see you, dear. I'm sorry you can't stay. It's always good to see you, and we'll see you back when you have some time, dear. It's clear that there are some things that are important to do. Indigo Twin, you really, really bumped my spirits up right there. So that's my story of woe, y'all. I expect that there will be messages talking about how I can't keep my mouth closed and how I'm stirring up and responding to drama in a public forum. But, you might not be the person I'm talking about, because maybe I'm talking about the other person. Maybe I got more than one message. Maybe I got more than two. Hmm. Thank you, Indigo Twin. I appreciate it. It's okay. I can take it. I just think that the solution to hate is a little bit of sunlight. Even the sex offenders got to get out of Scientology, so expect more. There were quite a few. You're welcome for the cheery hello, Cece. It's always nice to see you. It's okay, Red. It's really okay. Look it, we're gonna get a visitor, guys. Guess what we're gonna get? The smaller channels are more heartfelt and friendly, that's for sure, Dusty. I agree with you there. Soda's gonna come up and visit, guys. Come on. There he goes. Look at what we got, guys. We got a soda appearance. Yes. You gonna purr loud enough so everybody can hear? Probably Grandma can hear from across the room. There he is, guys. The biggest cat in the world. I love this lipstick color, Cece. It is one of my favorites. Thank you for noticing it. It is. It's hot enough to anyone asking if yes, it is hot enough. Yes, indeed, Janelle. Wait for the hard stare. Give it a minute. Your channel is so small it has no face. We're gonna fix that, no face. We're gonna fix that. Isn't he beautiful? He's just a lovey-dovey. He's just a lovey-dovey. He will set his head in my hand for the whole day if I let him. I know it's your cat, Dusty. It is your cat. Off to Tommy's. Enjoy Tommy's. Thank you, Cece. He is beautiful. He is really soft, Indigo Twin. He is really soft. And now he's drooling on me. Cat name is Soda, no face. and soda is 22 pounds. We are on Minnesota Goodbye number 2, Janelle. When he gets comfy, he stares into the sound here at home. Yes. Yes. He stares into your souls. There you go. That makes more sense, Xenu Free. He's getting comfy. Yes, he is a Maine Coon cat, Xenu Free. Or No Face, rather. Is he going in? No, he's not going in one of the boxes. I know you'd take him in a minute, wouldn't you, Dusty? You'd take them both. I think several people would. I think several people would. He does. He is my baby. He is definitely my baby indigo twin. He comes up for about a 10, and you know what? You keep no, Janelle, you're fine. You're fine. Everybody shows up. I love Liz Ferris's comment that everybody shows up when they're meant to show up, just at the right time. Did you have anything in the book that you really found interesting, Janelle, that you want to talk about? Oh, Indigo Twin, that'll be excellent. You'll be able to catch up. We're reading chapters. Um, I'll have to check in the book to see what chapters. Does anybody know which chapters we're reading? I think it's 5 and 6 that we're reading next. Because I think we just read 3 and 4, if I'm remembering correctly. 6 and 7? Okay. Chapters 6 and 7. We just read 4 and 5. Thank you, guys. I'm not good with the number thing like that. He is very happy grooming me. Very happily grooming me. Oh, I put duh. That was pretty silly of me, Indigo Twin. Duh. Chapter 4 and 5. It's right there. We read 4 and 5. Thank you, guys. I could look at the video title and it says it. Steam groomers. I don't know about steam groomers. I just got a new slicker brush for him because Jen said, for Orion, Jen said slicker brush, and he seems to like the slicker brush, but really the way I do him is I shave him when his hair gets too long. No, he doesn't like the slicker brush that much, you guys. When his hair gets too long, yeah, we've got that too, Janelle, weed and cats. He's getting down now, so the cats is over. Your Maine Coon likes the slicker brush? I think his hair is so thick. It's just so thick and so fine that it turns into one big long mat if I'm not religious about brushing him every day. And he is a lot to brush every day. I don't know how I would do that. So it's much easier to shave him when his hair starts to get long enough to clump. So that is what I generally do. Janelle, you're so funny. Book club is just for the weed and the cats. Okay, Xenu Free, good to see you. Hugs back at you. Okay, Sunrise Dawn, take care. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's kind of quiet tonight, huh, guys? I think it's been an awfully quiet weekend. It's been an awfully quiet weekend. Has anybody had any extra fun adventures? I told you that mine has been going through all my things. I've got boxes and boxes of things that are now in the car that we need to take to the Goodwill tomorrow. People celebrating the 4th of July. The only comb your long-haired cat will put up with is the little flea comb. It took over a year to get her to tolerate that. Feral from a shelter. Wow. Yeah, my long hair, this one, I mean, my other one is good. The brown Scotch is good. He doesn't need combed. He manages to take care of his coat on his own, but Soda just can't. You were multitasking until now? Okay, Red. You love cleaning and organizing? Come and help us, Red. Thank you, Xenu Free. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I want to be straight up and honest. If you guys see something going around, um, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Janelle, you had me confused for just a moment because um, that is Dawn is also the name of one of my loved ones. So for a minute I was confused as to why you were saying the name of one of my loved ones. You're not. You're talking to Sunrise Dawn. I'll catch up, you guys. I mean, I can't even remember what chapters we're on when it's on the when it's on the video title right in front of me. You sorted through all your quilting books and culled out half of the Will I Live Long Enough to Make These cull. Exactly, Janelle. I have knitting patterns. I have this many, this many of knitting patterns. So many knitting patterns. My grandmother's knitting patterns, my great grandmother's knitting patterns. Cricket. One's in the chat for Cricket, y'all. I am so sorry, Cricket. I am so sorry about that. I'm glad they got to meet their birth family before they passed. Oh my goodness gracious. That's just terrible. I'm really sorry. Really, really sorry. Oh, Cricket, I'm so sorry. Really sorry. Yeah, he sounds like a great guy. He sounded like a great guy. Yeah, that's the worst. And it sounds like it was a surprise. Not that it's ever easy. But I think when it's a surprise, it's doubly difficult. Exactly what Red said, you were there in his life at just the right time. Mhm. I'm sure he's very grateful to you for helping to find his birth family. It's just an amazing story, and I'm so touched that you shared it with us and that we got to share in a little bit of your life with him. It's really hard when people pass. Sometimes it's hard when people don't pass. Your family will miss him. Okay, Janelle, no worries. I'm sure he'll be a loss. May his memory be may his memory be a blessing at all times. At all times. I got a great email from Janet G, and she's going to be starting a channel. And as soon as she starts her channel, I mean, she's already got one, but I just don't know how to find her. Maybe Red can look her up really quick and we can do this as a surprise. Um, or I can look her up. Let me see if I can find her. I know how I can find her. Hold on. I can drop her in the chat. Hold on. What you guys need to do is head over to Janet's. He passed away in January, but is only. Oh my goodness, Cricket. It's a very large family. I understand how that can be, Cricket. That's too bad. I'm sorry about that. Oh, Indigo. I will hopes and prayers that your grandfather's wellness check comes up with no problems. I really hope. Please let us know. It's never fun to call a wellness check on anybody. So please, you guys, go subscribe to Janet. Large families are wonderful. Large families are wonderful. You're welcome, Indigo Twin. I imagine that's scary. Thank you, Chica. Thank you, Chica. You found her, Red. Look at you. I'm so impressed. I realized I had it in email. You're looking for a Maine Coon now? Dusty, they're amazing cats. They're really amazing cats. But I think you'll probably have to get one from a breeder. They're hard to find. See, Soda left cat hair on my nose. Let's see if we can have a little Orion action now, y'all. You can't reach your uncle or cousins and both his phone numbers aren't working. Yeah, that sounds very anxiety producing. They still out there? Oh, I thought they'd left. Hold on a second, guys. You get Maine Coon mixes in spades? You have one, but she's small? Okay, really? Do you really, Red? I didn't realize that. I remember you mentioning that, Cricket. I remember you mentioning that you were his distant cousin. That's interesting, Red. I thought when I looked before we found from the breeder, because my husband specifically wanted Maine Coons. Sorry, guys, you know how much it sucks when you get cat hair on your lip gloss? My mom knows how much it sucks. Cat hair in my lipstick. It's literally the worst. I remember you mentioning that, Cricket, and Red, I looked and looked and looked for Maine Coons. Um, Maybe it's just up here in this area we don't have as many, or maybe I looked poorly. Northern California might be prime for them. That could be. That could be. I wonder why there's so many Maine Coon mixes. I wonder why people are getting half breeds. Somebody's not requiring their Maine Coons to be spayed. You stopped wearing liquid lipstick when you lived with your roommate with cats. There you go, Indigo Twin. I can understand that. I've got on a little bit extra glossy lipstick and the cat hair. You have cat colonies. Wow, Red. Wow. I didn't realize there was such a cat problem. That's insane. So what do you do? Neuter and release? Trap and neuter? Is that how those get managed now? Orion, hush, hush, hush. The little Maine Coon in most of them. That makes sense. That makes sense. And they're all mutts. Mm-hmm. You were in contact. Okay, Chica, feel better, sweetie. Feel better. I hope that dengue doesn't do you wrong and stays a mild case. Good Orange Tabby, Dusty, did you see this? I got a picture of this tabby that they wanted to adopt out at work. You would not believe this picture. Hold on for just a minute. This cat, look at that, Dusty. 8-week-old polydactyl. Count his beans. Count his beans. Is he not the cutest thing ever? He got 12 fingers and 12 toes. Look at those beans. I had a hard time not saying yes to that kitty cat right away. That was really, really hard. Oh yeah, you'll take them. You've got a Polly at the rescue you really want? They're so hard. Exactly, Dusty. Is he not the most adorable thing? Just adorable. I've never had a Polly. I'd love to have a polydactyl. You always wait to see if they get adopted first. That's good, Red. That's good. You guys were in a chat and didn't see someone who was clearly in chat, and you checked your own block list. What's the move? Oh, the move is, Janelle, to check if you're viewing top chat or all chat. There's a little there's a little um there's a little star. You see the little star? And you click that. No, where is it? You click this little star. That one. And it says chat filter, top messages. You need to click on that and it'll give you an option for top messages or all messages. And what you want to see is all messages. Check and see if that solves your problem, Janelle, because sometimes that can make people not show up in chat who are actually in chat, and then it feels a little weird. Third Minnesota goodbye, y'all. We almost blew right past that one. Unbelievable. Not much time spent talking about the book today, y'all. It seems like we're variations on a theme. The adults are stupid and continue to find new and worse ways of torturing children. Still not seeing cricket cinema? Well, cricket might have Janelle blocked. That is possible, Janelle. And if that's the case, I'm really sorry that you're both in chat and we're having this out. Possibly it's just an error on Cricket's part. You always have to remember on YouTube to move top chat to live chat. Yes, Indigo Twin, I am terrible at remembering to do that. I have no idea, Cricket. I have no idea how YouTube decides. Kenya, welcome in. It's a pleasure to meet you. I have no idea how they know that, Cricket. No idea. Have you been here before, Kenya? I don't recall your name. But welcome nonetheless. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Have you been reading the book? Janelle, I can relate to that feeling. Oh, you're a lurker. Well, it's so nice of you to come out and talk. Thank you for coming out and talking. I think I was just, you've ordered it. Okay, excellent. Excellent. I was just summing up. Um, what we had read up till now, and it sounds like we all agree that the adults were finding new and interesting ways to torture children. You don't believe you've blocked anyone? Well, then that's interesting, Janelle. Cricket says that they don't believe they've blocked anyone. So I'm not sure why Cricket's not showing up. Can you see him now, Janelle? Can you see her now? Sorry, folks, I don't want to misgender anyone when I'm not certain. It's really unfortunate. I don't know why YouTube would be doing that. You see cricket, Kenya? Exactly. Janelle doesn't see cricket. I don't know how you unblock anyone. You can't see Kenya either? Are you sure? Janelle, are you sure you're in top chat rather than live chat? I promise we're not trying to gaslight you. That's so weird how YouTube isn't showing you half the messages. Maybe try watching it on replay, Janelle, and see if you can see them in the. You don't see Janelle. Interesting. So, Kenya, do you know how to switch from top chat to live chat on your YouTube? We're probably spending too much time on this. You see that little white button? It's been buggy all over for you? Well, that could be. You click this little button there, and you see how it says chat filter, all messages? You click where it says all messages and check and make sure it's on all messages. You don't see Janelle either. So Cricket doesn't see Janelle, and Janelle doesn't see Cricket. That is really weird, y'all. That is really weird. YouTube must just be buggy, is what I've got for it. You're on all messages. Okay. Evil Blue Eye! How are you doing? Kenya won the award last night for the first person to show up after third Minnesota goodbye. So, Kenya, I'm not sure what you win. Yes, it is probably YouTube. But Kenya's the first person to show up after the third Minnesota goodbye. Evil Blue Eye, you were the second person to show up after the third Minnesota goodbye. You guys know how it is. We do the third Minnesota goodbye around here. Isn't Cricket a mod somewhere? Cricket, are you this is a different Cricket, I think. Jen, you see everybody even in top chat? Oh my goodness, guys. Cat hair all in my face. Thank you, Evil Blue Eye. Isn't Pup the best? I can't wait to tell Janet that we got her some more subscriptions while she was here. I know you've been here the whole time, Dusty. I know you have. I didn't think you went anywhere. You're just busy machining away over there doing other stuff while you're listening. I know you. You're not like sitting in front of your computer what listening. You're doing stuff, aren't you? You couldn't possibly miss. Excellent, Red. Thank you. Thank you for checking that. She's at 38. Perfect. Perfect. I can't wait for you to get your book, Kenya. That's really exciting. The chapters are a pretty easy read unless you're doing it with an audiobook, in which case they're still a pretty easy read. You're not a mod anywhere, Cricket? Okay. Okay. Laying in the bed with your phone. Okay. Dusty doesn't like you. He hardly ever comes to visit your nighttime distraction streams. Ah, okay, Evil Blue Eye. You've been here for about 20 minutes organizing for bed and listening. Nice. The audio is not in Jenna's voice, but I've heard that she did a good job. Whoever read it was a good choice, is what I have heard. But sorry guys, I didn't mean to do that. But it was not done in Jenna's voice. So, in bed. Well, y'all are on the East Coast. It's getting kind of late out there. Speaking of late, the other cricket is Chow Yun Smut. Indeed. The other cricket is Chow Yun Smut. Is there just two of you? There's just you and Chow Yun Smut cricket? So the chapters are pretty easy going. You should be able to get through them and get caught up to us pretty quickly. The sun is still, yeah, it's beautiful blue sky and sun. You were there last night? Yes, she's just giving you a hard time. You're so easy to giving a hard time to. Dusty out here. 109. My goodness. I don't think it got that hot here, but it was warm. It was definitely warm. Thank you, Kenya. I really appreciate that. He is the best, isn't he, Jen? He is the best. Are you going to be on tonight, Jen? Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. So I will repeat what Dusty said earlier. Um, Oh Hell No has started a Discord for the smaller channels. We speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. You were live and still waited up last night. Yes. Yay, Jen. Cricket is actually her real name. Yes, Cricket. That's what I've that's what I've been told as well. I'm so glad you got the desk moved. Jen, you wouldn't believe how much stuff we've gotten rid of and into the car and out of the house. There is so much more space already. It's just believable. You did come just in time. I was just about to announce the fourth Minnesota goodbye, but while y'all are here and while Oh Hell No is here, you just got your desk and computer moved into the bedroom? That's excellent. I cleared off 15 cubes in my Expedit, got rid of things. It's been pretty amazing so far today, wouldn't you say, Mom? We've done a lot of good work. You were in a live stream and still was watching Pup Live last night. That's hilarious, Red. So Oh Hell Knows started this Discord for brand new channels, and um all of you all are invited, and if you need an invite, just send an invite to oh hell just send an email to oh hell no. Um, I'm sure that her email is on her website that or on her channel that Red has just so helpfully dropped. Make sure and get an invite to the small channel Discord. We all need to stick together. And I didn't realize that Keela and Gretchen had a new channel that's just amazing and so timely. I'm really excited about that. Thank you for dropping that link, Red. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we go? Yeah, we have been talking about you, Sin, but I told her that. Only good things, all good things, all good things. We're burning. Good, Sin. I'm glad they were burning. I'm glad you came and checked us out. With that said, you guys, I think this is the fourth Minnesota goodbye. I think I'm gonna head out and get some dinner. Thank you, Kenya. Pup really needs the subs and the watch hours, as does Sin. You're walking the house in your underwear? I think that's TMI, Dusty. Absolutely, Cricket. Tell us about it. We'll see if Red can pull it up and drop the link. Tell us about the small channel you found today. It's always good to plug small channels. Okay, Dusty. I guess I'm sorry. I was making a joke back. It didn't go over well. I apologize. Walking the house in your underwear. Well, I didn't really think you were, but I thought it was a strange thing to say. I guess I should have known it was a joke. I'm sorry. It was nice to meet you too, Kenya. Thanks for piping up. I always like to hear. That is what flashed before me, Sin. That is exactly what flashed before my eyes. Thank you, Sin. Thanks for the assist. I am glad you said something, Kenya. I really like it when lurkers come out and talk. Bobby Joe Kellogg at Battle Creek Squirrel Squad. Exactly. You know Sin got it. Okay. But I think she's right. The vision of you and your tidy whities did pass through my brain. Unbidden. Unbidden. So we will wait for Red to drop Bobby Joe Kellogg's channel. She's got a great patter. Excellent, Cricket. Maybe up Brain Fog's alley. Certainly miss having her today. I know Red is gotta be. Is Bobby Joe excellent? Excellent, pup groomer. Well, let's get her some subs. Not that 10 of you are gonna be too many, but 1 or 2 always helps. Can't find her? Let me look really quick. She got swatted today? Becky? You're picking up some Shantix tomorrow? Here she is. She came up for me for some reason. Red. There she is. Is he at the door? Hilarious. Hilarious. Shantix next week starts the no smoking, part of why you moved to the bedroom. Okay. Good for you. Good for you. I mean, I'm trying to get Dusty on that wagon. Dusty, you need to go. You quit for 1.5 years back before pandemic. Stress from that and hub smoking inside got you starting again. Indeed. And you're already subbed. That's kind of funny, Red. It has been kind of a day. It has been kind of a day. Becky and Sassafras were seated. Call for people with GUNS. Cops responded responsibly and respectfully. Thank goodness. Panda made you hungry? Most of us quit 7 times before it takes. Wow. Dusty, how are you coming on picking up one of those vapes? I tried to send you one, but they won't let it send to a different address than my credit card. So that won't work, man. I tried. I tried, but they won't let it send to a different address than my credit card. It was annoying. Otherwise, you would have one in your little hands already. Good. I heard DOA got swatted again too yesterday. I'm glad they're okay. The swattings are kind of scary. I'm glad that the cops are not responding inappropriately. Y'all, we're about to go to a 5th Minnesota goodbye. That doesn't usually happen. You're not doing so good, Dusty? How come? Seriously, Jen. Your doctor said you needed to stop smoking and stop chocolate. What? Henry got swatted yesterday too? Wow, it seems to be going around, Cricket. Oh, with the smoking, that's right. Because I was talking about the vape. Sweetie, you would already have one in your hot little hands if they would let me ship to an address different than my own address, but the credit card company won't let me do that. I may have to just order you one and have it sent to me and then send it to you. So annoying. It was the first time that happened to him. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary anytime it happens. It's scary anytime it happens. Okay, guys, mom is sitting here. Oh, you're a mod for Becky, pup? Okay. Mom is sitting here waiting for me before we go have some dinner. So, oh, really? That's terrible, Sin. 6 stents this spring. Well, I'm glad that the operation went well, Janelle. At least you can breathe well, indeed. I will tell Mom everybody said hello, y'all. And I appreciate you taking us to the 5th Minnesota goodbye. But I gotta call this one tonight. We've gone over and I need to get back to those bookshelves and clear out another 15. Clear out another 15 shelves. We've got a bunch to take to the Goodwill and now more space that we can move around. It's getting better. It's getting better every day. So, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for the book club time. Jen, I will see you later tonight. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care.